I still remember the day I first heard about Gatsby. I've been doing a bunch of React work, wanted to fix up my blog, and man, I just did not feel like spinning up an HTML project. I tried, I hated it. I wanted all my fancy JavaScript and TypeScript tools, and I had a bunch of data from an old WordPress site I wanted to move over. Man, did Gatsby solve that problem well. I was so impressed with how Gatsby took my mess of React knowledge and history with WordPress and let me combine them into a decently functional static site. It was the first time I'd really experienced all of my knowledge colliding in one place in such a cool way. It was also one of the first times I had seen React used well for static site generation, where an HTML file existed that represented what React would make. It was so cool having a site that made correct HTML, used all these different sources, and let me code in React. Sadly, the I don't know how to put it other than next one. Gatsby was pursuing so many different things at once that it was almost destined to fail. The results speak for themselves. What's this blip for Gatsby? It's probably what some point last year somebody was going through different projects and like forcing them all to install a bunch of stuff. There's also a Svelte one that's similar. Don't read too much into those spikes. There's somebody who has a lot of fun trolling right now. Svelte wasn't actually installed 28 million times in a week. The reason I bring all of this up is because something happened with Gatsby. They got acquired. But why? Why would someone acquire Gatsby? And why would I say it's a good choice? Because I think the Gatsby acquisition was a great move for Netlify. The Netlify acquisition of Gatsby doesn't necessarily represent much about the framework so much as what it integrates with. As I mentioned before, Gatsby was one of the few solutions to really think through integrations. Gatsby had a standardized GraphQL interface to get your data from pretty much anything, which was super useful if you were trying to migrate old websites. You can make one template in Gatsby and then pull data from all these other things. What I realized quickly is that that data layer was more valuable than the rest of the framework, and trying to get Gatsby the way to build a JavaScript website to keep up with the data layer as well as all of these other frameworks, it was just a lot. And I don't think they were positioned well to do that. I've even talked about this with the founder of Gatsby directly, and he didn't necessarily agree, but I think they're coming around to it because soon after we saw the Enterprise Content Hub, which allows you to, as you see here, fetch from everything from Shopify to WordPress, wherever else, and then push that into whatever framework you choose. And this is where I think Gatsby is strongest, is the integration layers for all of these different data sources. Astra is starting to kind of challenge that with the content packs, but I do think there's an awesome opportunity for Gatsby to just take their content layer and let us use that instead of using the Gatsby framework. I think this is a very strong angle for Netlify to take, being the easiest way to grab your old WordPress site and make it into something modern that your devs don't hate. Gatsby acquisition is really interesting for reasons y'all might not have known about. Let me know what you think about the Content Hub. Watch whatever video is being recommended there. Peace.